I dare you to be willing to go there again. Let me say that again. I dare you to be willing to, quote, go there again, end quote. Here's what I mean by that. In the scriptures, there is a unique dynamic that talks a lot about people who are barren, women who desperately yearn to have a son, and they were incapable because they were infertile. Now, I want to tie this to some of those seasons or scenarios we go through that are connected to greater things that God is setting up, that because of the barrenness in our own life, our inability to produce, our inability to overcome, our inability to make something happen, that we've thrown every resource we've got at that problem or scenario, and we just can't give life to it. We are barren, as it were, in that place of futility, or maybe we're infertile or incapable. So here's what I want to encourage you with today. Barrenness biblically generally preceded a next level outcome that the woman who was battling barrenness, or the couple who were battling barrenness, could not see that God had on the other side of their battle with barrenness. And I know that I'm talking to people today who've been battling barrenness, and it's taken you to a journey of frustration. You've wrestled with your futility, and you've been incapable, it seems like, of overcoming it and breaking through it. And it's broken you, because barrenness will break you. There is nothing to be ashamed of with being broken. In fact, brokenness in the kingdom is a prerequisite for greatness. And so here's what I'm telling you today. On the other side of your barren place and your battle with that is something greater that you can't perceive. The Lord has something greater in store for you. Your greater is coming. When Abraham and Sarah broke through their barrenness, Isaac was born. When Hannah broke through her barrenness, the prophet Samuel was born. When Elizabeth broke through her barrenness, John the Baptist was born. All of these women and their husbands wrestled greatly with barrenness because God was doing something greater on the other side of it. So here's what I want to tell you today is that your battle with barrenness, your struggle, your wrestling match with that area of futility in your life is because God's got something greater that has required a process of you wrestling with barrenness because of the greater thing that is ahead. So God's going to empower you where you've not had the power to prevail over the barren place, and where you've been barren, you're going to be productive. Where you've been barren, you are going to break through. Only what's going to come out of this season of wrestling with barrenness is going to be greater. There's greater purpose, greater effectiveness, greater destiny, greater things are coming on the other side of your barrenness. That's why I started by saying, don't be afraid to go there again. If you're going to overcome barrenness, you've got to believe in the presence, in the middle of it. While you're battling it, you've got to believe that the barrenness is a prerequisite. It's a setup for something greater, and you keep believing in the presence of the barrenness. While you're battling, keep believing. And there comes a moment, as God wants to bring you beyond the barrenness, He wants to break you through it, that He's going to challenge you to take a step of faith, to make a move, to shift your mindset, to believe in spite of the barrenness, to, quote, go there again. Because when barrenness takes us to a place of brokenness, it can intimidate us from moving forward. It can get us stuck in a mindset that we're never going to break through it. And so it requires courage, spiritual courage, emotional courage, courage to develop a new mindset that says, I'm going to, quote, be willing to go there again, because this time I'm not going to fail. God is going to break the barrenness cycle out of your life, but you've got to be willing to go there again, believing that as you battle it, you're going to break through it. In fact, you've already been appointed to something significant, something greater that's on the other side. So don't be afraid to go there again and watch God empower your efforts, your labor, your faith, the work of your hands to break through the barrenness and create something that's greater than you perceived.